Be honest, have you ever opened an Excel file, looked at like maybe 50,000 rows, and immediately felt like taking a tea break? Or even worse, you wrote multiple VLOOKUPs or even XLOOKUP, and suddenly your Excel file is hanging like it's on a life support. And you're just sitting there wondering, bro, I just wanted a sales report, not a system crash. And what if I told you you never have to use VLOOKUP like that again, or even the new formula XLOOKUP? You never have to merge sheets manually, and Excel can actually handle big data like a pro. Welcome to Power Pivot. And enter Power Pivot. Think of it like this: normal Excel is the jugaad, and Power Pivot is the professional setup. With Power Pivot, you can connect the different tables, and there's no more messy joins or VLOOKUPs that you have to write. It can handle huge data. It can help build relationships like in any database, and of course, create powerful reports. Basically, you go from an Excel user to a data person. So let's dive in there. And like I mentioned earlier, you will see I have these files, four different files. I have my product file, the stores, sales, and the customer file. And you will see all of these are in different files. So let me open first the products report or the products file. And you will see here, what do I have? I have the product ID and the details of this particular product, the brand, the category, and all of this. So if you see, this is an actual sales report of a chocolate company. And where did I get this from? Uh, this is the website. So if Kaggle, and under Kaggle, you will see you will get a lot of data sets that you can download. The data set that I am using is the chocolate sales data set from 2023 to 2024. So you can download multiple. You will see there this is kind of classified or categorized based on based on these categorizations that I have. So this is from where you can download this file. I'll also give a link in the description below for you to download the file to practice along. Now let me open the file once again. So if you see under products, what do I have? I have the product ID and the brand, the category. Now let me open my sales report and you will see it has got a large data set, right? It is huge. Now under this, I don't have the name of the product. I don't have the brand, the category, none of these. See, one way is, of course, I can add a VLOOKUP or even an XLOOKUP to get the data from the other file. But you can imagine what that is going to do. It is going to definitely slow down the Excel. It is going to make it it is going to make it big, and maybe the VLOOKUP gets broken, XLOOKUP gets broken. So all of those are a possibility. And that is why we're going to use the Power Pivot, where we're going to start building relationships. So without the VLOOKUP, we are going to get those details. How do we do that? I'll show you soon. But that is how you need to do it. So the first thing is we need to add each of these tables. So I have the products tables you see in the sales, and this is the customer table and under customer. So if I want to do some analysis based on, if I want to find out maybe a particular product, what is the sale that we got, male versus female? If you see, I don't have that data in my sales report, but then I have the customer ID. So we're going to build a relationship between these tables and then try and get those data using the Power. And now let's look at the last table, which is the stores. And then this is going to help me get data based on which country did the sale, what store type, etc. So those are some of the things that I can do. So the first thing that you need to do is, once you've downloaded the file, you need to enable Power Pivot. This is not going to be there by default. So you need to enable it. And this is one of the reasons I believe that Excel is going to continue to dominate the market when it comes to working with data analysis, etc., because it's readily available across. One, you don't need to pay additional for getting this software. So if you have Excel, you will be able to do a lot of these analysis, etc., using Excel. Okay. Now let me show you how to add this Power Pivot. Click on File and click on Options. For some of you, you might see Options directly. For some of you, it might be under More. So click on More and then Options. Here, go to this add-ins. You'll see the add-ins here. Click on add-ins, and here not Excel add-in, but I need com add-in. So click on com add-ins. Once again, click on com add-ins, click on go, and here you will see it opens this pop-up. And here, what do I want? Ensure that it is ticked. For me it is ticked, that's why it's there. Ensure that yours is ticked, click OK, and you will be able to see Power Pivot there. The next thing that you need to do is you need to add this to data model. Okay, so let me first add only maybe the stores one, Then I will show you in a way to that you can add all the others. Okay, so I'm going to close the products table. Okay, let me just click on save. Okay, there are some changes that I did. I don't want okay, saves for sales as well. Okay, then the customer as well. Okay, so you will see since that data is large, it has taken some time for it to save. And this is my store ID. What is my okay? And this is a customer one. I'm going to close this as well. Click on save for now. What did I do? I've added. I just have the stores file, and now I need to add this to the data model. Now, if I click on add to data model, you will see it is asking you to create a table. Now, it is definitely advisable for you to create a table before you start. Okay, so let me click cancel. There are different ways that you can make a table or create a table. One is if I go to insert, click on table here, and you will see the shortcut control T. So either I can click on table here and say, yes, what is it? My table has headers, click OK. And now your data is added into a table. Uh, and it is advisable also to give a name for your table. So let me change this name. So I'm going to call this as stores. Okay. I should have done this for all the files. So let me open that file again. Okay. Give it a name or make it into a table. And then, okay, so this was the stores is done. Let me open my customers. Okay. Make this into a table. Control T. Headers. Okay, click OK. And then I'm going to change this name to customer. This will be under the table design. If you're outside, you will see you don't see the table design. Ensure that you're inside the data. Then if you click on table design, you will see the table name. So I've given this name as given it a name called as customers. I'm going to save that. So customers is done. The next one. Okay, so customers, stores I've already added. Sales. Let's open the sales file. Okay, we need to convert this also into a table. We'll just wait for that to open, and you will see again, like depending upon the size of the file, it is definitely going to take a little longer. Okay, now what do I need to do? Add this to the table. Control T. What is the name of the table? Ensure you click on table design. The name of this table is sales. So I'm going to call this as sales. Yeah, close this as well. Let's save it. And I think we are done with all of them, right? So sales, okay. We also have the products one. I don't remember if I gave it a name. Let's open that and quickly check. Yeah, not done. So I'm going to press Control T for this as well. And then give it a name. What would be a good name for this? Products. Okay, you'll quickly understand why we are doing this. And then for now, I've done that as well. Click on Save. Now, I just have the store. So we're going to add all of those into the data model. Now I'm here. If I click on Power Pivot, you will see add to data model. Click on it. And moment you do that, you will see this stores. And this is why it is important for you to give a name for your table so that it's easy for you to reference or relate. So I've got the stores. Now I want to add the other data, right? All the other data that I have into this. So you will see there are different ways that I can select from here. Uh, there is from data services or from other sources. I'm going to click on from other sources, and I'm going to go down to Excel file. I can also get data from a text file, but I'm going to use the Excel file option. Click on next, and the connection name. What is the path? The Excel file path. I'm going to click on browse, and then I'm going to go to my file, which is archive, and then this is the stores one. I'm going to add the product. Okay, click on products. Okay, I can check the connection. So it said test connection was successful. Next. Okay, now this is added. I can add another one here. Okay, and then I'm going to click on finish. So you will see this is done. Okay, close. So what is it done? You will see now the products is also imported from other data source. Let me go back and add the other ones as well here. So next, and what use, and again you will see use first row as column headers. I forgot to do that, and you will see it kind of added F1, F2 there. We will see how do we remove that. So we added the products one. Next, what do I want to add? I want to add the sales, and here ensure that you use first row as column headers is selected. Okay. If you click on the advanced, you will see there are a lot of options. We're just going to leave that for now. Okay. You could click on test connection and then next. You will see that is also getting added. Okay. Then finish. this is going to take a little longer than the other files because this contains the large data set. So just give it some time for it to load. And again, depending upon the kind of data that you have, this is going to, so to an external data source, click OK. Okay. And then it is kind of, you will see the import is in progress. So depending once again on the size of your file, it is going to take a little longer or maybe even faster depending on the data. So you will see here it is retrieved about 90,000, 120,000 rows. So we have a large data set. So we can now, in while you're doing this, if you want to stop the import, you will see the option there that is stop import. Okay. That's another thing that you can. You'll see now it is also added the sales one. Now let's add the other ones. Again, click here, next. So there's no way that you can combine all of them together. So that's one challenge that is there. So you have to add these files separately. I've added the sales one. We need to add the customers. Click open, ensure once again that you do this. Okay. And I'm going to just do next and then finish. Now we have added these as well. So we have the stores, we have the product, sales and customer. But now in products, we want to add, ensure that this header is done. So how do we add this? If I go back to products, you will see one problem that we are going to have. So what do I need to do? Which is, it is going to say that this already exists. Okay. Let me show you that error that you would get. So I'm going to go here, click on next. So what is it that we need to add? We need to add the products. Okay. And again, ensure that you have this, click next, finish. Okay. Close. And now you will see it is added it as products 1. Now, how do I delete this? I can right click and then delete it. So this is gone. And now I have the one with the products, but it is called as products 1. I'm going to rename that to products. Okay. We have all the 4 tables now. What and all? We have the stores, the sales, the customer, and we just quickly verify, ensure that you have the headers in all of them. Okay. And again, another advantage is you will see that it does not load the complete data set. If you keep scrolling, then it is going to load. So this is why it is going to speed up your process. Now, the next thing that we need to do is once we have all of these, I need to build relationships between these tables. To build relationships, what do I need to do? You will see under the home ribbon, you have the diagram view. So right now, this is the data view. Okay, and then we need to go to the diagram view to build our relationships. I'm going to click on the diagram view and you will see these are all the different tables. And once again, if this naming is clear, it becomes easier for you to understand which are these files. Now I'm going to kind of keep this in the middle here and build my products, build my relationship around it. Okay. Move that there and maybe move that there. Okay. Or I have to there. Like this. Okay, so I can kind of easy for me to look at the data. Okay. So I have my products. And what is common here? If you see here, I have the product ID and I also have the product ID. So if I need to build a relationship between the product and sales, because if you see my main table is my sales table and everything is going to relate to that. If I want to get the store ID, you will see these are also referred to as the primary key. Primary key is something that is unique in each of your table, or if you're talking about databases, then in your database. And how do I link this now? How do I link product to sales, the stores to the sales, the customer to the sales? I'm going to go to the products table and I've selected the product ID. I'm going to click on that and drag it and drop it on the product ID. Ensure that it is dragged and dropped on the product ID. The moment I do that, you will see it kind of builds this relationship here, which is saying one to many, which means what? Here it is going to be one product ID, but in my sales, there's going to be multiple. So that is the star here, many, because that product ID can be many times in your sales table. That's done. Okay. And how do I delete it? Let me show you how to delete it. If I click on it, I'm clicking on the line here. I'm going to click on that and delete. It'll say, what do you want to do? Do you want to permanently delete it? Delete from data model. So, and it's gone. How do I add it back? Let me show you from stores. So I'm going to click on stores, drag it and put it on the store ID here. So again, the store ID can appear multiple times in your sales report. Okay. Next, this customer ID can apply multiple, can be there multiple times here, and now the product one. So now we have created the relationship between each of these tables into our sales table. That's all. And now, of course, if you want, you can write formulas to kind of get this data in your table. And I'm going to show you one where I can try and get the field. I'm going to click on the data view. And it depends where is it that you want to add. So now I can go to the sales table. And if I want to add a column here, here the VLOOKUP does not work. So there's a formula called as related. Okay. You will see related. What is it related? So from what? What did I want? Maybe I wanted to get, I want to get from the customer report, maybe the age, or let us see, maybe the product. Okay. And I want to get the category of the product. So what did I want? In my sales table, I want to add a column. What should this column contain? It should give me the product category for each of these products. Again, instead of writing a XLOOKUP or a VLOOKUP inside Excel, we are doing that directly here. What did I do? Equal to, like any formulas we get, and then related, and then I can choose what do I want here? Product category. Close bracket, hit enter, and now it is going to automatically add the product category there. You will see it gets added there. It's a calculated column. Okay. We've got the data. It has given us all of those information. Okay. And I can kind of rename this by calling it as category. Okay. So similarly, now let's assume I want to get another one. What do I want to get? Maybe I want to get the store information. What do we have under the stores? We have the country. Maybe I want to get the country under my sales here. Okay, I'm going to first now rename it. I'm going to call this as country. I can do this as well. Okay, and then how do I add it? You will see it kind of gets added there. But now this should equal to, I'm going to go to my formula bar here, or I'm going to say is equal to related, and then what? From which table? I need it from the store. So, and this is another reason as to why giving a name for your data, the table, right, that we did is going to be helpful, because then you can quickly relate and understand what this is. So from here, what did I want? Stores.country. I'm going to press tab, close bracket, hit enter, and now it is going to add the country for each of these, and you can see how quickly that kind of gives the data. And as I scroll down, you will see it will automatically get updated there. So this is how you can use your DAX formulas or functions inside your Power Pivot, okay, and then get it. But now, so this is one. We will maybe I'll create a detailed video on working on formulas inside this. But now, once this is done, what do I want to do? I want to load this data. Okay. And here you will see I have the pivot table, and what do I want? I'm just going to say pivot table here, and then where do you want to load it? To a new worksheet or an existing worksheet? I'll say new worksheet, and then depending upon from where you started this, right? So we started adding this to the data model from our stores. This is why it gets automatically added here. And here now you will see I have each of these tables. Again, the advantage of giving it a name. And now from here, like any other pivot table, it's just that in a pivot table it is going to be data from one single table. But now, since we have built this relationship, let's say from the sales, I want to find out, okay, which product category. So I'm going to click on category. Okay, you will see I've got the category, and what is the sales that we got for each of this. Okay. And of course, these two are something that we had added there as well. But you will see I'm not using this. I'm using the profit, and I'm getting the data from my products table. So for each of these, I've got this data. Okay. If I click on manage, if I want to make some changes, click on manage, and it will take me here. Okay. Let me go to the sales, and what do I want to do? I want to delete this. I want to delete both of them. So I can right click, delete columns. Okay. I'm going to delete this as well, the country, right click and delete columns. Click OK, and then pivot table. I will say new worksheet again, click OK, and now again you will see if I under the sales, that's gone. Now let's do this once again. The product, I want to find out again category wise, or let's try it brand wise. I'm going to click on the brand,
and what is the profit that we made from each of those brands. If I click on it now, you will see I'm able to get data from 2 different tables. Now I also want to see which customer, male or female, got which particular brand, or what is the sales that we got. So I'm going to click on customer, and then what is it that I want? I wanted the gender, so I'm going to click on gender. I want to build a new, and so let me remove all of this. Okay, let's leave the gender, and gender wise now you will see this is the sale that we got. And if I want to add a brand, let me also add the brand, and let's move the brand under columns. Okay, now we will see which customer, gender wise, we are able to see the brand that each of them have brought and what is the total that we have got. So this is how you can start building relationships, getting data, and now you will see it is much faster compared to building a pivot, just a pivot table. It is much faster. And here you're not writing VLOOKUP, you are not copy pasting data, none of that is something that you're doing. And like I also showed you, if you want, you can also do that. You can create data using the related function inside and get the data also. That's also something that you can do. And now what is it that we have done? We have built a relationship between multiple tables, and we are able to get data from each of these tables inside our pivot table. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them.